We are back again with another video here on My Story, where we discuss history events. So let's dive deep into it without wasting your time. There we have it, history ordinary level, grade 10 up to 11. And our topic is spiritual Versailles and its impact during the period of 1990 to the period of 1923. General objectives: learners will understand whether the peace treaty of 1990 was fair. Here are our specific objectives. Learners will evaluate whether the treaty could be justified at the time. So here, fellow historians, you are evaluating, you have to discuss on both sides, on the positive sides and on the negative sides. You have to evaluate. If you agree, you have to tell us why you agree that the peace treaties at that time could be justified. If you disagree, you tell us why you disagree, but you have to discuss on both sides. So our general discussion, or the things that we are going to discuss in this video, is whether the treaty could be justified at that time. In other words, whether the treaty was fair. So let's dive deep into it without wasting our time, So there we have a question: could the treaties be justified at the time? Remember, this history that we are doing here is the same history that you are doing in the mainstream educational system, or in the mainstream school. So if you are in Namibia, which means these things that I'm discussing here applies to you, especially if you are in school, especially in grade 10 and 11, and if you are doing history. So all this is for you. So let's go into it. We have a quotation there from Marshal Foch, French commander-in-chief of the Allied armies in 1917, and the quote says, "This is not peace." They are saying now, because it was a peace discussion, right? The Treaty of Versailles, it was a peace discussion. The Marshal is saying, this is not peace, it is an armistice for 15 years. Marshal Foch, French commander-in-chief of the Allied armies in 1917. So at this level, I think, or I believe that your teacher told you about peace, armistice, all that. So it was a piece of revenge. It sowed 1,000 seeds from which new wars sprang. It was as though the devil had sat beside Clementia and whispered madness into the ear of Wilson and grinned across the table at Lloyd George, British historian. This is our sources. So this is the source where this information was originated from. So from here already you can already build an understanding, like especially like when you are answering a C question, where you are required to evaluate on both sides. Here you can already build, you can already see that maybe Germany did not really lose the First World War. You see, you might start building that. You might also start thinking like, maybe the people that fought in the war, Britain, France and maybe the United States of America. Yeah, but you can already see where we are going. So there we have it. So there we have our question again. Could these treaties be justified at that time? Were these peace treaties fair? As a historian, ask yourself, when you limit another country or another nation's army, when you force them to take the war guild all the responsibility, they have to be accountable for all the damages, you have to force that on one nation. Do you think that behavior can be justified, or is that fair? That is what we want you to comprehend or understand. Now let us read what is on there. Now, while the economic defects of that settlement were for the most part illusory or exaggerated, the present writer shares the opinion of those who, with every justification, will come to the conclusion that we were very stupid men. We arrived determined that a peace of justice and wisdom should be negotiated. We left it conscious that the treaties imposed upon our enemies were neither just nor wise. That is now according to Harold Nicholson. He was a writer and diplomat in 1990. He was a member of the British delegation to the Versailles Conference. He believed that political considerations saw the defeat of Wilson's idealistic vision for Europe. As we said, the Versailles Conference, where Clemencia and Wilson, Lloyd George, from Britain, all that, they had to come to Paris and discuss. They feel like, these people, all like the people that came along with these three men, they felt that it was not a peace discussion at all. It was like, imposing that, okay, now that we have accepted that we have lost the First World War, this is what we want you to do, So you have to build, you have to have a analytic mind where you can think from both positive and negative side, view of the discussion. And this is what we normally do here on My Story. We generally try to give out information out there, for especially the school kids who are in school. We want to provide them with this kind of information. So there we have our question going on and on and on and on and on, and you can just read, and you'll find your things there. So let us read the statement. When in the year 1990 the German people were burdened with the peace treaty, we should have been justified in hoping that precisely through this instrument of boundless repression, the cry for German freedom would have been immensely promoted. Peace treaties whose demands are a scourge to nations not seldom strike the first roll of drums for the uprising to come, Adolf Hitler. You see? The Treaty of Versailles, it created an opportunity for fascist leaders like Hitler, or fascist people like a Hitler who had, somehow kind of strange views, if we might permit that way of interpretation. So as we said, it created an opportunity for people like Hitler to come to power. People in Germany were so angry. They were upset. They felt like the peace treaty was just a dictate. Oh, you have to think about that. So we are concluding now, end of our lesson and end of our first topic, Treaty of Versailles and its impact 1990, the period of 1923. So learners, as you have, or historians, as you go through these videos, go through them with an open mind. You see, don't try to memorize what I'm trying to tell you here. Look at me as a person who is who is observing, but in that observation we are all learning. We are all learning from that observation. So this is generally what we do on my story. You will hear about me when I'll be talking about our second topic on my story. For now, just try to go through those videos, try to watch, try to subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, you get notification when I post new videos. You will be having access to those videos. And generally, this is what education is all about. We educate so that we can be free from ignorance, so that we can be free from imitation, so that we can do the things that we want to do. And that's why I love history. History is a lovely subject. And for me here, Mr Mbware, that's what we do. Until next time.